Hello, everyone. My guest today is Alexander Volodarski. He is the founder of a company called Lemon.io, Coding Ninjas. In 2015, he built it with an idea for an Uber for web development. You post a project, and then the next available pre-vetted developer picks it up. Even though the model sounded good, scaling was really tricky. He pivoted and rebranded to Lemon.io to match startups with rigorously vetted engineers. Prior to Lemon, he had two failed attempts to build businesses, AdSense for images and local classifieds in Ukraine. And before that, he was the head of sales at a 100% SEM agency. Alexander, you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so just to be clear, Lemon.io used to be called Coding Ninjas. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so I started. I didn't even want to start a business. So I was just testing. So Coding Ninjas was a generic name that I picked, and I didn't think about it.
Mm-hmm. So what is Lemon.io? Is it a SaaS model or more of a marketplace?
It is a marketplace. What we do is every engineer that wants to work with us, we test and vet them and put them in our database. And whenever the client is looking for a developer, we pick someone who's been vetted already and is available for the project.
So how many developers today do you have on your platform?
We have available about 250 developers.
Okay. And each month, how many new businesses come in and hire at least one developer?
Around 18, 20, 25, depends on the month. Mm-hmm. Last month was the best one, actually.
What were those numbers?
In terms of new projects, I'm not sure, around 25, but in terms of GMV, it was the best months. We did around 330,000 GMV.
330,000 what?
GMV, gross margin value.
In USD?
Yes.
And how do you make money off that? What's the revenue model?
We make commission on everything what's happening, mm-hmm. on every hour that the developer is working for the client.
So what percent of GMV will you keep?
Our take rate is around 25%. It depends from the project to project, depending on the rate, but the average is 25%.
Okay, got it. So if you did 330,000 in GMV last month, you would make about $80,000 from that.
Yeah, that's a little bit more actually, but yeah.
Okay, that's incredible. So you're flirting with sort of $1 million run rate, and I assume getting here was not easy. So take us back to the start. When did you launch the company?
I launched in 2015. I was living in Israel, and every new stream of revenue was good because Israel is very expensive. And there was someone who came to me asking to find a developer. I helped them, and they brought more people to me, and I didn't look into starting that business until it was at least, I think, 10 grand GMV per month. Mm-hmm. And only then I quit the job and started doing this full time.
So back in 2015 when you launched, you say growing to 10K in GMV. Why did people come to you and ask you for developer help? Did you have a background or network in that space?
Actually, it was just, started from helping one person who had, many friends. It was an agency. They had a lot of friends who were agencies, and they were just, coming to me. I didn't ask for that. Mm-hmm. I didn't choose to do that business. And they knew that I'm from Ukraine, and they were screwed by freelancers in the past. And that's why they were looking for someone they know they can trust to find it. To find someone they can trust to work.
I bet a lot of listeners right now that are running SaaS companies, and they hear these stories about these amazingly talented dev teams in Ukraine and Krakow and Argentina and they go, should we spin up a dev shop in Ukraine? What do you pay a senior engineer in Ukraine these days?
Depends very much. What is you pay? The product company would pay one amount, the outsourcing company would pay another amount, the person who works through a marketplace would pay, a higher amount. Mm-hmm. If you're a product company, you have something that that developers want to work on, you would have a high chance of paying less. Mm-hmm. You would have a high chance of paying, I don't know, maybe $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 per month. Mm-hmm. If you're hiring as an outsourcing company, you would pay more because developers will be looking to do a job they are interested less, but want to make more money.
Mm-hmm. Now, walk me through how you started recruiting. You have a marketplace. So in 2015, how did you get your first 10 sort of vetted developers on your platform?
Through the network. I went through the network. I knew a few developers, and I asked them to introduce me to a few developers too. I was not a developer, so I was not able to actually do a proper vetting like we do right now. We do a lot of technical interviews and soft skill and interviews. Back then, it was a network.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you guarantee if someone joins Lemon, 10 developers, do you guarantee them X amount of work every single month? Like, what if they quit their job to join Lemon, then you don't give them any work?
So the majority, it's a good question. Right now, we're targeting developers who are already looking for a job, and we are one of the solutions they're looking at. They could look at another product company or work in outsourcing company, and we're one of the options they're looking at. We're trying to find the type of job they're looking for, meaning if they are looking to add just more revenue to whatever they're earning right now, just to do extra 10 hours per week, we can do that. Or if they're looking for a full-time job, we can do that also. We don't guarantee, but marketplace is a business of chicken and egg problem, where you have to balance between the demand and supply. So supply is the hardest, and we have to
supply sure being talented engineers.
Yes. Yeah. Because if they don't, if we are vetting them and they're spending all this time, sometimes they spend from 10 to 20 hours of their lives to for us to vet them. If we don't find them work within like first 2 weeks, they leave and find work elsewhere. And also that means that they're not going to come back because they pissed, and also they'll tell all their friends, and this very very much affects reputation. So we better find them job.
What is that developer expecting from you in terms of the job size, the total amount of money they can make from you in the first 2 weeks they're on your platform?
We don't negotiate rates. If the developer comes and says, I want to make $50 per hour, we'll pay them $50 per hour. We'll just add whatever is our commission to, and we'll offer this to a client. If the client agrees to the rate, then we're going to work together. If not, they're not.
So last month in December, of the $330,000 of projects that you put through your system, you kept about 80,000 of that, so 25%. The rest, I assume, was paid out to developers. How many developers made at least $1?
Ooh, I cannot pull that quickly. If you have a minute.
Yeah, take your time. What platform are you using to track all this?
Oh, several. I'm not sure I'll be able to answer how many developers, but we ran.
What's a guess?
Yeah, I'll tell you. The guess is at least 90 developers.
Okay, about 90. Got it. And what the developer that made the most on your platform last month? How much did they make?
My best guess is around $6,000.
$6,000?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And so that was just in December of 2020. If you add up all the GMV through all 2020, how much did you do last year?
2.73 million in GMV.
And what do you think you can do this year in 2021?
We aim for 10 million.
Do you think you can hit it?
It's a pretty stretch goal, but it's possible. We did 4x 2 years ago. Last year we did 2x. In 2020 we didn't do well, but a lot of clients churned because of the COVID.
So in 2019 you did about 2.72. You were flat year over year?
It was something like 25% of growth, very little.
From 2019 to 2020 you grew 25%?
No, from in 2019, we grew twice, and in 2020, from 2020 beginning 2020 to 21, we grew like 25%.
Yeah, what I'm asking is growth between 2019 and 2020.
Yeah, it's 2x.
Oh, you grew 2x there. Got it. Okay, very cool. And what's driving most of the growth? How do you go from 2.7 in GMV to 10 million over the next 12 months?
So the step number one, step number 0, we need better systems. We have a lot of problems in the funnel. We have to build a better sales funnel, and we have to build better analytics. Because right now we don't even know like our real churn and retention rates. We have to spend more time on this. Mm-hmm. But this is step number 0. Step number 1 is fixing supply, because we have more demand than supply. I think if we have enough supply, we could, convert, I think 20, 30, maybe even more percent of projects than we do right now.
Well, what's the issue right now with supply? I mean, why can't you go get new great developers? What's the bottleneck?
The bottleneck is finding supply. Finding supply is very underestimated. It's very hard. It's very expensive, and it's not as scalable as you could as marketing towards clients.
I mean, can you just go on Fiverr and search by front end or Python or Ruby, and then just manually message all of them and try and get them off of Fiverr and onto Lemon?
Yeah, you could do that, and you couldn't do that because Fiverr has policies that don't allow that to do that, and it's illegal. But we could go to LinkedIn and do that. But every developer that comes into the platform, there's 20, 30, and sometimes 40 developers who vet out, and and we still spend money on them and still spend time on them. And also we cannot bring too much supply at the same time, because if we do, and there's not enough demand, they leave and they create a better reputation.
Yep. And on that 330,000 in GMV you processed last month, how many businesses put at least a job to the platform?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah, so there was $330,000 in GMV that went through your platform last month. How many businesses put at least $1 through the platform?
So it is about 90 projects. So each business usually has from 1 to 4 to 5 projects, but we mostly target early stage startups, so they have 1 or 2 developers. So I'd say around maybe 50 businesses.
50 businesses, yeah. Okay, and you would consider them really your customers, 50 businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, have you done all this bootstrapped, or did you raise?
We raised 60K early on
6,000 K? $67. 67?
60.
60.
Yeah.
$60,000. Okay. And any plans to raise new capital?
It depends. Like right now, we don't need to, meaning we don't know where to put them. We want to be capital. We want to grow. We don't want to throw, how to put that? We don't want to raise too much money just for no reason. If we would know that there is a scalable path and we could just throw, a few $1 million into growth and it would work, we would do that. But until we find it, we don't feel like raising.
How many people are full-time on the team right now?
15 people full-time.
15?
15, yeah. But we outsource everything we can.
I see. How many full-time people?
15.
Okay, got it. So 15. And then how many engineers are there total?
Until now, there was only 1 CTO, and that's it. And we did all the development through the same freelancers actually what would also work for us for growth. We started working not only with freelancers, but also with dev shops. This way we could pull into a bigger pool of developers. So
you would give dev shops business basically?
Yeah. It's a little bit harder on the vetting side, because you also have to vet. Before vetting a developer, you have to vet a dev shop, because a lot of dev shops are very shady. You need to make sure that there's nothing going on inside over there, that they can, they could be facing a senior developer, but actually doing job for, a junior developer. You have to make sure that it's not happening. So
back to my engineering question, you have 1 CTO. Do you still only have 1 engineer on the team, or is there more?
Yeah, we're adding 2 engineers right now.
Okay, so you'll have 3 total. And do you have any sales people on the team?
Yeah, we don't do outbound sales. We live off marketing, but yeah, we have 2 salespeople who are processing.
But none of them have a quota.
What is quota?
A sales target.
Not at the moment.
Got it.
We're gonna move towards that, but not at the moment.
Yeah, very cool. Let's Alexander, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
I'm reading right now the Boron Letters. That is pretty amazing.
Which letters?
Boron.
Oh yeah. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
CEO I'm following. I've been following Shaan Puri of the. He was a founder of Blab and CEO of Blab.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building your business?
Good question. I use a lot of tools. None of them is, I don't know.
Pick one.
building online business. Okay, I got one. I'm a part of course, the copywriting course by Neville Medora, and it's amazing. I think every entrepreneur should do copywriting, and it's a basic skill that they have to have, and I think it's amazing.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Right now, 7, 8.
And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
I have 2 kids and married.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 34.
34. Last question, Alexander. What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
Oh, not to chase money.
Guys,
later on.
There you have it. Back in 2015, he started helping his friends find developers to do their projects after he was putting $10,000 in GMV basically per month. He said, you know what, I'm going to build a business here. Now he's launched Lemon.io, raised only $60,000. And last year alone processed 2.7 million in projects through his platform. He keeps 25% of that. So about, he's up to now doing about 330,000 in GMV per month, keeping about 80,000 per month. 90 developers made at least $1 through his platform last month. The biggest developer made $6,000. So healthy ecosystem, marketplace model, growing nicely. Alexander, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that